Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We're covering a new show to the channel. Of course, it's not a new show to anyone that's watching this video. Uh, I am reviewing Married to Medicine, and what I'm going to say is I think it is a staple of a show, an entity of its own that deserves a lot more praise and honor from Bravo. Um, I did not review it when I first opened my channel. One, I did not watch it from the beginning. For the past few years, I've been watching the show and also watching old episodes, old seasons, just to get familiar, because I'm just not that type of person that just wants to start reviewing stuff and I don't really at least have some type of connection with the show or connection with the cast, and then I'm saying stuff and don't really know what I'm talking about. I just wanted to be more authentic when I do come to you. But I think I got a feel on this show, and here I am. But I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also share this video, please. If you're new, welcome. Go on and subscribe, as I did say. And if you are returning, welcome back. And hopefully you actually do watch Married to Medicine, or if I'm able to convince you from this commentary that I do have, go on and watch it. You can watch it on Peacock every Monday, or actually on Bravo every Sunday evening, usually at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So shout out to the cast and the crew. Oh, okay, so we start off this episode. This is season 10. Congratulations to 10 seasons of Married to Medicine. I do know that there was other spinoffs, one in LA and I think also in Houston. I think possibly they were going to do a spinoff in DC, but it doesn't look like it popped off. But congratulations to you all. Created by Mrs. Mariah. I forgot her last name. Sorry, but she is the creator and executive producer. And we know we're not going to go down that train as to what happened to her, but you know what happened. Anyways, they do a little flashback of significant moments that's happened over the 10 years. Then they give a little what I like to call interludes before real scenes happen, into all of some of the cast lives. So the first scene is with Phaedra Parks. She has been casted this season. If you're a Phaedra stan, you probably won't like my channel or my commentary, because I can't stand nothing about her. If you are a Phaedra stan and it can at least be mature about it, that's cool. Let's hang out, But nah. Anyway, so Phaedra has a clothing store, and it's called The Vault, and it's supposed to be for the elite. So you got to have some money if you're going to shop at the Vault. And it looked really, 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 really good. Now, I'm going to say this, since we're still in Atlanta, Marlo, really, this looks like your vein. How is somebody who I don't feel is very fashionable able to show you up and do so much more? I mean, you're the one that wants to live the soft life and you have all this money and glam, or do you just have labels to show off, to act like you really got it? Because I do know that you have great value paper plates that you do eat off and go to the laundromat. But talking about you need a summer home. Okay, but I'm not going to stick on Atlanta, but it looks like Phaedra's doing something that you should be doing. So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie, they do visit her, and they are just shopping around, and Phaedra's there in a bodysuit. Hopefully we get done with these bodysuits, because I'm sick of them already. It's oversaturated. I just don't, come on, stylists, can y'all do something else? I'm not a fashion person, but it's boring to see the same person in the same cat suit, bodysuit thing. What do y'all think about that? So they're there. They're saying that they know her a little bit, and then they talk about Phaedra and her shade, and of course the only shade that they could actually give. Purveyors of Pop, why did y'all go to the nastiest shade that Twitter tells you is the best read that she's got, that was basically written down for her? So there's no other reads that y'all got for her that y'all couldn't say or do or be or give? So that was kind of ugh, especially on a doctor show, but whatever. Dr. Jackie seems like she knows who Phaedra is, and she's got her eye on her, and I'm glad about that. All right, so The next scene, we move over to Simone and Cecil. They give a little update on what's going on in their lives and what was supposed to be their storyline, and it doesn't look like they're going to have a storyline this season. um, Hopefully, y'all catching on to people that I'm like, don't really like. I'm okay with them, but it's like, why are y'all still on the show? In my opinion. So they were going to write this book last year. We go back to the flashback scene of them talking with Omarosa about doing this couples help book where they were going to talk about the difficulties in their marriage. When they started writing the book, Omarosa said, it might not be well for you guys to go down this road, start talking about what made you guys almost divorce. And they ended up saying, you're right, we're not going to do that because it brought up too many emotions, and they'd rather save their marriage than try to go down this rabbit hole. As you know, and I thought it was so phenomenal, they were going to actually divorce. But the women and men really, really came in and helped save their marriage. Eugene and Toya, they come over. They talk about that they had been in a really rough patch because of the things that have been going on. She said that there's been lack of sex and all that good stuff, no time at home and all of that. I feel like Eugene puts a lot of pressure on him to make sure that they live luxury, a very lucrative life. And I don't know. I want to see if they move this year. Actually, I would tell you, I can't say that I hate Toya. I think I like her. She's cool. I don't love her like the others, or some others that I like, but she's cool. And her confessionals are pretty bomb too. What do you think? What do y'all think? So they said that Simone and Cecil invited them over to have a lecture. And basically they got them together, and now Eugene and Toya are in a better place. And we have a returning doctor, Dr. Greg Lumpfert, and now his new fiance, Letitia, aka Sweet Tea. I do feel a way about it. It's really weird. If the circumstances as far as what happened between him and Quad weren't factual, I would be more welcoming to him. But I don't understand why they did it. I know it was for the mess, but why put people in that type of situation when there's been domestic violence? So I know a lot of y'all don't like Quad, but I mean, Quad has been a staple on the show. She helped make the show what it is. It wasn't Dr. Greg, so I don't understand what his importance to the show is. I will say that, people say, well, Dr. Greg is really cool with the guys, and how this show and the formula is the women and the men, they have their own friendship groups, and then they still come together. I get that formula. It's just like, it's a diss and a slap in the face to Quad. And as she said weeks ago, I would have preferred if they would at least have had a talk with me instead of just casting these people and bringing them back in my life. I mean, domestic violence is so important to talk about. It's a big issue, and I think that it's just not valued. It's not spoken about, and the people people aren't sensitive about it and what it actually does to people. But you guys can give me your thoughts. So we learned a little bit about Letitia, how she snagged Greg, because Greg, I will say this. I like Greg with a beard. He looks good. I'll say that much. After his divorce, many women were in his DMs. He said people were sending him showering videos, and Letitia was one of them. Not showering videos, but being thirsty. And she ended up saying that I can give you what you need. And then she has like a baby picture and all this good stuff. And I want you to, I'm sticking a needle right there, or a pin right there, because there's something I got to bring up later on in this review. Because it's like, remember the baby part. Just remember the baby part. So Letitia's 31, and now Greg feels good. Of course, you got a young thing. Quad was young too. So they are getting ready for their engagement party, and it's going to be themed a hoedown. I'm skipping over to their personal scenes that they did have. A hoedown, basically a cowboy. I was like, okay. They talk about it a little bit later, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly, concerning, you themed it as a hoedown. I mean, ain't that kind of tacky? But anyways, we find out that Letitia's from Arkansas. She was raised up there, and I guess at some point she was, they moved to Texas, and then she ended up in DC. But anyways, she caught him by the DMs. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next scene. This is with Dr. Heavenly and Alora. Alora is in her senior year of high school, and she is planning her prom. She's getting ready to graduate, and the school of choice that she wants to go to is FAMU, which is in Florida. And Florida is the party. FAMU is the it's a HBCU, and it is a party school. Dr. Heavenly does not want Alora to go. She really wants her to be in state, go to Spelman. But Alora doesn't want that, And then Dr. Heavenly does say that her boys, they decided to stay in state instead of going, and they just feel like it's too far away. But Alora's mind is set. I mean, Alora's mind has been set since a young age. She's been independent. She ain't really need her parents like that. Well, she does, because they do pay a lot of her. They take care of her. But it's like she still had this independent mindset. So they are at the dress shop, and they're picking out different dresses, of course, as a mama would do. Say it can't be revealing and all this good stuff, and she's got a lot of cleavage and all that good stuff. So they're picking out the dresses, and first Dr. Heavenly's trying to pick out stuff, and it's like, well, this is my prom, let me pick out my stuff. So they had 3 choices. I really did, and I did agree with Dr. Heavenly. I liked the first dress. The gold one, which was the third one, I would have liked that one. I think so. I think what was messing me up is I couldn't see the whole package. I think because of Alora's hair, so I was like, okay. I wasn't really too into it, into those dresses. The second one was like, oh, okay. But I think that she chose the right one. Dr. Heavenly had to go, so she left her car with Alora to say, charge it. I said, okay, go ahead. Of course, Dr. Heavenly said, she didn't get all this growing up, and she doesn't want her children to have to grow up the same way that she did. And it's understandable. They just didn't have the money. And it's good to see that. I'm sorry. I would like to see Black people be nepotism babies, I don't know how you say it. I don't know what the right word to say, but let nepotism happen in the Black culture. How about that? Instead of struggling, surviving, like we're on Good Times. Ain't we lucky we got them? No, we don't. All right, so, little background concerning Phaedra and Dr. Greg. Dr. Greg and Phaedra were friends first, back in his bachelor days. We also find out that Dr. Greg and Phaedra dated. Now, she's saying that her and Dr. Greg did not penetrate. Let's just say that much. But that's how she was able to become friends with Quad. So it's like, ooh. So now Phaedra's going to have to be very neutral in this whole thing, because you're only friends with Quad because of your friendship with Greg, which I didn't know that, because I thought Quad was friends with Phaedra. So, I don't know about that, but whatever. So I don't think that anybody on the cast should give any of them a hard time if they do become friends with Letitia or stay around Greg, because, Phaedra, who is the friend, already knew Greg and should be closer to Greg. I don't know who she's closest to, so whatever. So the engagement party happens, and everybody's in their cowboy hats, frill, and other good stuff. We learned that Letitia has a twin twin sister, Kanisha, I think it was. I'm not for sure. Letitia and Kanisha. It's with a K. They are identical, fraternal twins or whatever. So the party starts. The women are there. Quad's not there, and everybody's asking, well, where's Quad? I think Dr. Heavenly was in her confessional just trying to be funny. I haven't really spoken to Quad since New York, the reunion. But she's been vacationing. I think Phaedra also said, you can't really catch up with Quad right now. She's doing this and doing that, shopping in Chicago, things of that nature. So they asked the question to Letitia, what's the best part of being engaged to Dr. G? And she said, access to money. Oh, gold digger, as that's going off in their minds. So Dr. Heavenly just went on and asked the right questions. So are you a gold digger? And she said, no, not really. It was a very indefinite answer that she put on there. And then Toya said, so are you a gold digger? She's like, no. Well, then you need to say you don't. You say no. Toya's trying to teach her some things while she's sitting up here portraying that she is a gold digger. Or she sounded naive at the point, at the questioning that Dr. Heavenly had. So we'll see what's up. It does seem like she is a gold digger, but whatever. Anyway, so Next thing, Toya's asking, she asks personally, anybody see Quad? Anybody handling Quad's DUI case? Phaedra, are you doing that? Phaedra's like, ooh, I don't know anything about that. Da, 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 da. And Toya says in her confessional, like, yeah, I'm somebody that's not going to just go off of a rumor. You can look up the case, and she has a DUI. I don't know how true it is. None of the bloggers picked it up. So, and everything is out in the open in Fulton County. So I don't know what's going on there. Anybody know about that? Leave it in the comments, please. So it kind of became the Quad show, but then Letitia's sister, Kanisha, said, hold up. Letitia's trying to speak. And I think Dr. Heavenly said, or Dr. Jackie said, this is not about Quad. We're going to leave her out of this. The guys are outside are just having a good time. So I guess it's a good flow. I think that Anila, who was on for the last 2 seasons, I think the husband had a better time with the husbands than she did with the girls. I just thought of that. So we find out that Letitia, she's ready to have children. She went to Simone. Dr. G did recommend her to go to Simone. Simone referred her to a specialist. So this is my thing. If you were Letitia, if you were offering to have a baby with Dr. G, because you could give him what he wants, why you need to see a specialist? Because to me, it feels like it's under false pretense. And I'm not trying to knock anybody that's having infertile issues, but you presented yourself like you could have a child. And now you need to see a specialist about what's going on with you and your insides. That's interesting to me. Am I thinking too much about it? I don't know. So anyway, Dr. Heavenly says, so you referred her to a different doctor? Why didn't you just do it to Jackie? I thought Jackie does all of this stuff. And Simone says, I referred her to who I wanted to refer her to, basically. And Dr. Heavenly said, you didn't want to keep the money within the group? Why are you doing all this stuff? Of course, a lot of people online are like, Dr. Heavenly is jealous of Simone and Dr. Jackie's relationship. I don't think so. I've studied Dr. Heavenly enough, and she's going to get the ish started. I don't take Dr. Heavenly that serious, and I don't think that a lot of stuff that she do has any malice towards it. She's trying to make a show. So I just responded, well, why, if they know who Dr. Heavenly is, why are they keeping responding to her? No, they're going to make a show. And Dr. Heavenly knows how to get under these people's nerves. They know how to get on people's nerves. She knows how to do it. She knows how to start the ish. And Simone says, Dr. Heavenly needs to worry about them veneers. and I mean, as far as getting veneers in people's mouths. Don't worry about what we're doing over here. So that was a little mini argument. So the next day, Dr. G and Letitia, they're going down to get their marriage license. Letitia doesn't really appreciate all the talk of Quad and all that good stuff. Dr. G was like, I know that they did that and that's not cool, blah, blah, blah. They're at the counter to get the marriage license, and then we get a flash forward of some of the things that are going on because they're saying right now, oh, they've had no type of complications to try to get married and all this good stuff or engagement. And we see all this ruckus that's going to happen because they do this little flash forward scene. So I like the way that production did edit this episode. But that's all I do have. I'm just letting you know right up front. I love Dr. Heavenly and I love Dr. Jackie the most out of the group. Kind of see it for Simone. Kind of see it for Toya. Oh, also the friends of Alicia and Dr. Kimma. Alicia was when they went to go to DC, and I think that they were going to do a spinoff, but they were doing a what was it? I think that they were kind of doing a pilot episode last season when they went to DC, and Alicia is one of those people that they were sitting with and conversating with the old cast and some of the DC doctors or whatever. So they're on the cast. They were invited to the engagement party and all that good stuff. I think it was asked if by Toya, were you going to be working for Dr. Heavenly? And she said no. And Alicia said, no, I just like to keep my friendships and my professional life in different categories, and that's fair. I think I'm going to enjoy the season. I don't understand why Phaedra's here. She did say that she was dating a doctor, that they're covering his face, so obviously he didn't give clearance for him to be actually released. So now we're living with another fake boyfriend. But it was all Kenya that was doing all this fakery. Okay. whatever. But please leave me in your comments. Let me know what's going on, how you feel about this episode, how you feel about this season coming up. But I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Share this video, subscribe to this channel, and also leave your comments. Until the next one, peace.